Welcome to Spurs Vision TV. Good evening to all you guys in Asia, all right, and of course, good afternoon to you guys in Europe, and of course, I forgot now. I'm gonna say to South, to the Africa, right? Good afternoon too, right? Yeah, from the Africas, right? And of course, good morning to all you guys in the America side, right? Good morning to you guys. Today we have a very mixed panels, right? We have got fans from Arsenal. We have got fans from of course, Spurs, Chelsea, West Ham, Newcastle, right? And of course, not to forget
It's on a loose track.
Manchester, Manchester United too. Manchester United, Coach Tom, and my fellow Malaysians joining me. But before we continue, let me bring on a special guest who's doing his debut today. We have to give him a special Spurs Asian entrance. Yeah, welcome, Manny. Hi, Manny. First time on Spurs Vision. Thanks for joining us. Right, as you can see, we have a very diverse panel today. Right, from all over the world, especially. Right, and of course from almost of not all clubs in the United Kingdom of EPL, but most of it is represented. Right,
Nick,
important
you're
enough
funny,
to
mate.
yeah.
Nick.
All right, but let me go through the chats first, right? Nick, Barry, Ranjit, yeah, big up. Third in the league, second in our group. Not let's lose, dude. Our marbles, not lose our marbles. Oh, we're not gonna lose our marbles. We're just gonna lose our minds, right? Okay, Guguma, big up Guguma, yeah, big up Guguma. Yeah. Hes is smiling. Yeah. Why is Hes smiling? Hes.
Well, it's either that or I cry, so it's the
Yeah,
option.
yeah.
Yeah.
And of course we
Chris,
got
you're right.
King Arthur, right? King Arthur is let me see. Chris Lagambatu, right? Yeah, Blami is full house. Yes, Chris is full house. All right, guys. Of course, we're gonna go through the weekend games first before we touch on
Stop it, mate. Lol.
yeah. We're gonna go through the European games that's gonna go on. All right. At the moment now, of course, the most exciting game that actually happened in the weekend is the North London Derby. Look at Steven and his sunglasses on, and Manny sitting right down there, right, being so cool. But Steven and Manny, of course, Steven earlier in the back room, he was saying that if Arsenal beats Man City, then he'll be really geared up.
If City let that happen, it's going to be. I think I need to leave social media for a few days.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I might have to mute my WhatsApp groups for like a week or two because it's mostly Arsenal or Tottenham in my WhatsApp groups. So
but of course, the NLD. Let's go to NLD. Just say NLD, right?
Oh, do you want to talk about it? Okay.
Of course we are.
No, I'm going to say two things, right? The pre-show, I said, if Emerson played, right, we'll give you the game.
That's not the reason.
And then the second thing I said, right, is that we share the 3 points all the time.
Emerson's not even a footballer, so.
Mate, that's not the reason you lost. It's not. That's not even that. You were already beaten.
Right? Yeah, that's true. But now we never do well in Emirates anyway, so right. I guess
we only won there once in 2010, I think.
That's 12 years ago. Instead of us Spurs fans talking about that game, right? Why don't we ask the other guys, right? And Spurs and Arsenal.
What do they think of the derby?
Yeah. What do you think of the North London derby, Hanno?
Tottenham, never again. I will predict you to support you. Never again. Yeah, Conte ball. Jeez, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Conte. But yeah, wrong game plan, wrong tactics, wrong everything for Spurs on the day.
But
outclass Conte, out tactical by Arteta ball.
But Kano, do you think Spurs are playing Conte ball? Because you were a Chelsea fan, so you've seen Chelsea under Conte. Is this the same style you guys played under Conte? From what I remember at Chelsea, we weren't playing that way.
Yeah,
it is because you guys sat back for most of the half, most of the game actually.
But I remember Chelsea attacking more under Conte.
Yeah, we were attacking more, but if you look, also defeated us 3-1 at the Emirates. And I think we were playing almost the exact same way you guys played. We didn't have many chances, but I think we were a bit more attacking. But you have to look then at the players. You look, we had
we just kind of simple, right? We just come down to it. We don't have the quality of the players to play like what Conte had to play in Chelsea. Simple as that, right?
That's
and
the problem.
Being up, that was the biggest problem, right?
Players,
I'll go to
And-
Coach Dom. Coach Dom doesn't have much time with us, right? He has about 10-20 minutes for us, right? Dom, what do you think about the North London derby? Did you watch it? Any interest, or you just like,
I was actually out. I wanted to watch it, but I was out. But then I was actually checking the live score, looking at the stats and whatnot. So I was surprised. I'm actually not really surprised. Possession-wise, Arsenal was literally dominating. Right from the start, I think it was like, 60-70% all the way through. So I was actually talking to some Arsenal fans. Actually, we'll be talking about it later. The banter that I received from the City game are majority from all Arsenal fans. Okay, I have this thing with Arsenal fans, wearing shades and whatnot. Oh my god! But anyhow, I think Conte didn't really have a plan B based on what the guys was actually sharing with me. He was pretty much just one way or no way. So I think he pretty much ended up with no way and whatnot. So based on the stats, when I was looking at the stats, I thought that he was trying to do some counter attack kind of tactics using the pace of Son and whatnot. But apparently, I think that didn't work as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say that. Again, for me personally, Arsenal fans, I got something against them. I would rather be more friendly with Liverpool fans, to be honest. All right, so
Trust me, I have as well.
yeah, and then a lot of my close friends are actually Arsenal fans. So they're saying that they're going to win the league and whatnot. Wait till you guys play a proper team. Play a proper team when they have their their peak.
So you say Man United on a proper team then?
I mean, when we play against Arsenal, I think we were pretty much. The fight in the place was there, the urgency and whatnot. It was there. But whatever that the team that turned up against City, we didn't have anything of that kind of quality. I think let's not talk about City lah. If there's no City, we didn't play against City. Maybe against a Fulham or maybe against, God forbid, a Brentford and whatnot. I think the scoreline would have been like 4-0 and 3-0 with the way that United turned up that day. Yeah. So just enjoy while it lasts. Top of the table. Yep. Bravo. 8 games into the season, but I think we are going to hear the Arteta out chant very soon. Very, very soon.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Dom. Steven is already an Arteta out guy, but slowly. Yeah, he's an Arteta out guy, right? Yeah, he's been an Arteta out for a long time. But slowly, right? He's like Lee Gunner, you know what I'm saying? Slowly.
No.
Turned over.
Chipped off.
You know exactly when I will turn.
And big up to my brother Brian Daigle. Big up, bro.
Big up, Brian.
Hope you're doing well in Canada. Oh, this is part of it. Now we have a full set.
Leave out. We
have a full set. We've got someone from the Americas. Yeah, from Americas. Right. Okay, let's get to Johan. Johan, the North London derby. Any interest, or you just were more interested in your Fulham game?
I always have a soft spot for Spurs, and my cousin, he's a Spurs, Arsenal fan, lives in England, so I like to take the Mickey out of him. But I got to say that Spurs this season a bit Jekyll and Hyde, and I think Arsenal is a bit above expectation. They got a young squad. Everybody's young and hungry, and I think looks like they might go a bit far. But Spurs a bit again Jekyll and Hyde. So I hope they can get their act together and hopefully pull some strings. Get some results on the run. But I think Arsenal were one class ahead on the day.
Okay, all right. And let me get one more friend on now. Hi, Nippon. Now we're full house.
How are we?
How are you doing, Nippon? How's work?
It's good. Very stressful.
I thought you're working in the restaurant right now.
Not today. Not today.
Not today. Yeah. We were
Today's
just
my day
talking-
off. Hence why I'm on. Hence why I came on your channel.
Yeah, I know. Today's my day off too. That's hence why I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, someone else is trying to get on, but I'm not sure who that is. But maybe.
What do you work as, by the way?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm an operations manager for restaurants.
Oh, you're in the hospitality industry too.
Yeah. I've got about 30 over years experience in that. I started when I was 16 years old. Yeah. So
Nice.
actually,
nice.
I'm at the general manager kind of level, but works hard nowadays. So you just get operation managers to take it lah.
Nice. Which hotel are you the general manager of?
At the moment, I'm in the midst of switching jobs. I'm jumping from a Indonesian style restaurant to going back to Japanese restaurants. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right. And Keshaf's got some internet problems, I think. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Steve,
it's okay.
What's with the shades?
Yeah, Steve.
Exactly why.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
What do you think happened this weekend?
Manny's not wearing shades.
Manny's not wearing shades.
And there's a reason, Nippon. I keep it real.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Always
Manny.
grounded.
Excuse
Always
me.
grounded.
Excuse me. How many times have you been on my channel and I kept it grounded? I was keeping it grounded before the game started. Usually I'm on my by itself. So let's get it real. Like it's just because I want to take the piss.
And hold on, guys. Let me say, Bobby K. Sorry, at the moment we are full. Once someone else hops off, because some of them are going to hop off. Don't have much time on the show. I'll bring you back on. Okay, let's get back to Keshaf. North London derby. Any interest, or you just nah?
Well, I watched the whole game. I thought it was a brilliant game. Two good sides who.
Brilliant.
Oh, it's quality. Brilliant.
No. He said two good sides. Two.
It was the worst game of the weekend.
Oh dear.
All I'm gonna say is that you're not beating them at White Hart Lane, Steve.
Yeah, I will Steven that.
What makes you think that?
Right? Guys, hold on. Let's
It's a
get
mentality block. It's a mentality block.
No.
Hold on.
They can't beat you guys at the Emirates. You guys can't beat them at White Hart Lane.
It's a SharePoint thing. I already told Steven. He doesn't believe it. But okay, Keshaf, get back to your point. Yeah, it was a good game. Two good sides.
You can salute yourself all you want, Steve.
I thought Spurs.
We won the league at White Hart Lane twice. It's not a mentality block, mate.
Yeah, you're living in the past.
No, it's not a mentality block. We've beaten them plenty of times at the White Hart Lane. We could do it again. And the way they're playing football, I won't play near it.
When's the last time you beat them at White Hart Lane?
Guys, hold on. Let Keshaf have his say. Come on. Go on, Keshaf.
To be honest, I thought Spurs got bullied everywhere. I thought they couldn't get the ball, or I would say most of the possession, because I thought Arsenal played really well. I really enjoyed the way they played their football, and I have to give credit to them because I think once, especially in the second half, I thought Arsenal pressed at the right areas. If you look at the likes of Martinelli, fantastic, and Jesus, he's a really good player, and I thought at times Spurs just couldn't handle the pressing and the loss of possession. So it was a good game overall, but I think Spurs have got their own issues, which I think needs to be resolved. Conte keeps playing the system of defensive, which he wants to get it right, especially solidity at the back, which I can understand that he may not want to concede too many goals, but you have to take risks and play attacking sometimes, and I thought he didn't really do that. And if he keeps playing like that, I think there's going to be further issues down the line. If he probably needs to change formation, because maybe that might be the way forward. He can't keep playing 5-4-1, 5-2-3, or 3 at the back. So
like you did at Chelsea, hey brother.
Yeah. So why did you say that?
Well, no.
Keshav.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Why can't Spurs play 3 at the back? Because if I don't know how much you've seen of Tottenham this year, but when we play a 4, for me we look even worse defensively. Like we look like we're going to concede like 3 goals.
No, we can't go to a 4, Harry. We can't go to 4 with Dyer and
Dyer,
Ben Davies. Yeah. So we can't go to 4. Yeah. So,
Emerson.
but okay, Keshav, continue, Keshav. You were saying?
Sorry. I'm just. What do you
Probably Spurs may need to change it up. Probably play four. I know it may have not worked out, but maybe give it a try. Maybe play Longley and Romero in there, and then you probably play Davies as left back, and probably Spence, who Spurs haven't given a chance yet. So I'm sure.
I wonder why. But...
Yeah. Because it seems I heard that I think Spence is ready, so I'm not really sure about that. So,
That's true. But of course, let's hear what Manny has to say, because he's first time on the channel, right? And I think he's one of the more level-headed kind of Arsenal fan. He won't like over celebrate anything, foot on the ground, right? Manny,
a rare breed.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you very much indeed for that introduction. Appreciate that. One of the reasons why I do like to, be a bit more level-headed is that sometimes, there is this phenomenon where sometimes people can get clipped. Yeah. So whatever you say will be recorded, and people will replay that for you, and they will hoist you by your own petard if you're not careful. So I have to really be now. I am sorry to say that for that game, I missed the first half because I was feeling a bit knackered and I had to have a bit of a rest. And from what I saw of the highlights, it was wonderful to see Arsenal dominating Spurs and making sure that their high pressing game was working. Obviously, we had a full strength 11, which helped greatly. And, Partey sort of underlined his value to the team. And he pretty much lit up the party by uncorking an absolute corker of a goal. Fit to win any match, whether it's a North London derby or a Manchester derby or a cup final. It was something which reminded all of us Arsenal fans why he needs to be in our team and why we love him. Just such a shame that his injury record might, be a bit of a stumbling block in many ways. And of course, when Kane scored, I actually predicted that it would be a 1-1 draw, and at halftime it was 1-1. And of course, with Kane scoring, I wasn't really too worried, but I wasn't too, confident either at the same time. Not overconfident, if you will. But once we scored again, and kept on pressing, I think it was fair to say that there was really only going to be one winner. And one thing I will say as well is that I was actually quite disappointed, to be honest, with the way Tottenham played, because granted, Kulusevski being injured might have had a bit of an impact on your team selection. It meant that you had to play Royale as a wing back, and then Romero became the right centre back, if you will. And whether that somewhat weakened your team, it remains to be seen. But I was thinking all that midfield talent, all that attacking talent that Spurs had, and it was as if they were just content to continue sitting back, inviting us to come forward, and not really offering very much on the counter. And I think it's fair to say that once Emerson was deservedly sent off on reflection, there was really only going to be one winner. This is another victory which, in my opinion, highlights the importance for Arsenal of having our first 11 fit, because we never knew whether Zinchenko or Czerny or Partey would be fit until close to kickoff, or a little bit close to kickoff. And we were in a situation where if Zinchenko or Czerny wouldn't have been fit, who would we have played at left back? Thankfully, everything worked out for the best, and I'm grateful. But it's another reminder that unless we improve our squad depth, unless we're able to make sure that we have our players fit and avoid our players getting injuries, of course, I mean, that may not necessarily be in our hands, but unless we're able to ensure that we have adequate cover as well in case of injuries, in case the worst happens, we will struggle this season. So that's why we have to keep a little bit level-headed, because, we are top of the table right now. That was a fine win over Tottenham, and I'm very happy. But, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. And that's one of the reasons why I always enjoy the performances. I'm prepared to credit Arteta for getting his stuff right, but I will also agree that Conte got a lot of things badly wrong, because if you sit back and invite so much pressure, there's a saying that even if rocks are hit often and hit hard enough, they can break. And I think eventually Spurs' reservoir broke.
May I add to your point, Mr. T?
By all means, Mr. S.
Yeah. God. The thing, I'd like to add to your point on having a fully fit 11. I mean, even if you had a reserves, you'd still beat them comfortably.
No,
because it's a it's a
no.
mentality block.
No,
It's a
no, it's
mentality
not.
block.
No, it's not, Nippon. No, it's not. No, you're telling me in Ketia. You're telling me in Ketia with the
When was
chances
the
here.
last time?
No,
When was the
Nippon.
last
I'm gonna
time
stop. I'm gonna stop it right now.
they won
So,
a game
hang on,
at your
Nippon.
ground?
Nippon. Let me.
Listen to Steve.
Last time we played in Ketia in a Premier League game, he had 5 blatant opportunities. He could put the ball in the back of the net. Even I could have bloody scored it, right? And he couldn't. He's not worth like the level of Jesus. And plus, also, Jesus creates the movement, which creates the space that we need to break them and tear them apart. So no, Nketiah would not have worked, right? Nketiah wouldn't have worked. Vieira would not have worked. Marquinhos not have worked. We still need a fully strength side. Right? It's not just about mentality block. You still got to have quality on the pitch.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I say something else now?
Steven, let's
else now.
let Nippon have his say.
Go on.
Go on.
Yeah. To add on to Manny's other point, that your squad depth is thing. Yeah, you are one Granit Xhaka red card away from falling apart.
Not
or
exactly.
one Gabriel Jesus injury away.
Not exactly, because like if we the Jesus maybe, because then Nketiah would have to switch to a 3 to give him the support. He can't do it on his own, right? That's what we do in the Europa League, and you'll see that on Thursday with Granit Xhaka. With Granit Xhaka, well, we had Partey out for a number of games, and we had to play Xhaka or Lokonga or Xhaka and Vieira, and we've managed to deal with those problems. So at the moment, and this is why it gives me confidence at the minute, is because like as much as I don't like the manager, he is seeing the problems with the injuries we have had, and he's managing to deal with those issues. So at the moment, right, unless we have an absolute midfield crisis, right, in injuries, couple of injuries so far we've been able to deal with, and those are key players. Zinchenko and Partey are key players on our side. You can clearly see that against Spurs, right? But at the moment, he seems to be dealing with the squad depth that we've got, right? This is why I'm saying top four is a guarantee, even if we didn't spend in January, and which I don't think is going to happen, because we spent the same amount last season. We didn't spend anything in January, right? But if we want to be really ambitious and try and take on Man City, we're going to need to get Champions League football and still be able to invest further down the line.
Are you all clipping this, by the way? I've got all the receipts, Steve.
Hang on, that's not saying I'm trying. We're challenging Man City for the league. I'm saying in time, if we're going to build up the squad there.
But even in time, we'll see whether the injuries will take a toll on Arsenal or not, right? It's all in time now at the moment, because the injuries has already taken a toll on Spurs, right? With Kulu out, we look like, not even there.
There you go.
Yeah, we pull out. We're not even there.
Because our only player who has any creativity, apart from maybe Kane.
You still had 2 of your best players on the pitch, though, Eunice.
And plus,
sorry, Eugene.
But to tell you the truth, right, Nippon, I've got this theory later. I'm going to say, right, the World Cup is coming up. I think Son and Kane has actually just, their minds and hearts at the World Cup at the moment. Right, so I got
Eugene, do you know what the problem is as well? The reason I said that we're going to get knowing, we probably might get to January and we'll fall off a cliff, right? Is because look at Man City. It's not that they've done a clever thing in buying Haaland. They're not stupid. They know Haaland's never going to get to the World Cup, so they've got a player that's never going to get injured in the World Cup.
Since we're going on to Man City, right, we must well just jump onto the Manchester game, right? The Manchester derby. Since Coach Dom doesn't have much time, right? Coach Dom.
Eugene, I just quickly say what I wanted to say about the North London derby.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, do you mind?
Finish off. Yeah, go ahead.
I think, obviously, I wasn't well enough to be able to do the watch on for a game, but I did manage to see some of it, right? And then I watched the rest of it on highlights. I think Arsenal. I think that was faultless. Right, the penalty. I think the only mistake was Gabriel. Right, with that stupid penalty, and do you know what? Saliba, best Premier League defender right now. At the moment, he is the best centre back in the league right now. Right, I would love to see him go against Haaland because at the moment the ceiling for Saliba is so high, it's unreal. This guy is amazing. I can't believe how good he is, and he's only 21. He's making Gabriel, who we all thought looked decent, he's making him look average and exposing the mistakes he makes. But we dominated most of the game. I don't want to hear excuses about Emerson being sent off or anything like that. In the end,
shit anyway. So.
but in the end, Spurs we were by that point. Spurs were already beaten. To be honest, I was
debatable really at 2-1.
Yeah, it's debatable, but I didn't see anything from Spurs that made me look like they were going to get back into it.
I know you say that, but in games like this, right, it's so unpredictable, right? Because like we've had games where it's been like 3-3, 4-4.
Oh, I understand that. Like, trust me, I remember going to bed once at 4-2, and he ended up 4-4.
Yeah, we can just switch it on, or you can switch it on, and
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I mean, I understand that, but from what I saw, compared to other North London derbies, I just didn't think Spurs had anything about them to be able to get themselves back in the game. And once Emerson Royal went off, which I think was a blatant red card, I don't care what anyone says, right? I can't see how people are sitting there saying that's not a red card. Well, I'd love to stamp my studs in their ankle and see if that's a red card, because that could be an ankle breaker.
Yeah, that was definitely a red card.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear anything otherwise.
But in the end, like Spurs, to be honest, as much as I rate Conte and much as he's a great manager, I don't think he's got the players that he wants. He might have spent him just on the transfer. You can clearly see on the pitch he's not got the players he wants.
Yeah, we know that.
We know this.
We know this very, very well. Because we
and it showed in the North London derby because you were actually outclassed.
Yeah, but of course, let's get back to Dom. The Manchester derby, right? I'm sure you watched it, right? And I'm sure you were screaming up and down on what happened. And of course, I think you were more or less said it was the Haaland and Foden show, right? They both got a hat trick, right? And at the moment now, I think a lot of us fans, right, are actually quite fearful of Haaland because we more or less know what he can do, right? And you guys were more or less the first of the top six of us teams in the top six, right? Has actually experienced him. So, give us your thoughts.
I think regardless of how Haaland played or how Foden and the City lads played, right? I think the main reason of that goal score, right, is because the United players did not turn up. Again, like what I said earlier. I mean, if the same team, if they played with the same mentality as how they turn up against Liverpool and also Arsenal, right, I believe the scoreline wouldn't have been that bad. Okay, the first half, that was, I think, hands down the worst performance I've ever seen Manchester United play. Literally, there was no midfield. We always talk about, the bagel and whatnot, the McFred pairing. Literally, there was no one there. Probably Ericsson and Scott McTominay. Ericsson couldn't do anything. He can't defend to save his life. Okay, and pretty much they got him to actually mark Haaland, which is, I think it's, in a way, I think it's a stupid move from the coaching staff, like whoever it is, whether it's the Eric Ramsey or whoever it is. And then Scott McTominay, he was actually pretty good in the previous games, but then this time around, the old Scott McTominay turned up. He was ghosting. I don't know. I think overall the players, right before the game started, I think they already gave up already. I think, in a way, right, I'm sure whatever that we witnessed that day, it's not really the Eric Ten Hag style of football, definitely. And also, definitely, it's not his tactics or strategy for that game. The way that we played, right, there was no aggression, there was not even the simple pressing off the ball, on the ball, whatnot. Okay, and then there was no tracking back. If you witness the previous games, the Liverpool games, when the players actually turn up, you can actually see how the wingers actually track back to help the fullbacks and whatnot. But this time around, they left the back four, the back five on their own this time around. Literally, they can just lay a red carpet for the City players. So again, regardless of how good Haaland is, he's fantastic. This guy, 8 games in, and he already has 3 hat-tricks and whatnot. And then he's like, 8 goals, 10 goals shy from last season's Golden Boot and whatnot. And definitely he's going to crush it. And this guy has a lot of talent, definitely talent. And mind you, a lot of supply and a lot of quality players around him as well. Kevin De Bruyne, that pass for, I think, that the third goal, was it the third goal or the second goal? The one whereby most of us would have thought that the ball would have went out and whatnot, but then we didn't expect Haaland's leg to be that long. So the way that he actually played, fantastic play from that young lad. But then again, it goes back to United. I think Eric Ten Hag actually came out saying that after the game that the players lack belief. You know, the weird thing about United is, if you were to see the way like the team played, right, you would have figured that, oh, maybe we have been losing like the past 3-4 games like trash, and then the moral was down and whatnot. But no, it's not like that. We were actually on a good run in the Premier League, and also the players that actually went for their respective international duties, pretty much everyone performed. Diego Dolo actually scored 2 goals for Portugal. He was like, everyone was like hyping him up to be the best right back in the world and whatnot. Lo and behold, first minute in, already 1 yellow card, and which I question I question that and of course the performance subsequently after that fell everything fell. So that's the thing about United now. It's like you don't know how, I mean, the team is going to turn up in the next game and whatnot. So I'm actually quite worried with the Everton game and also the Newcastle game coming up and whatnot. It's like
we're going to meet you guys soon too, right? If you're not mistaken. We are playing you guys soon.
Is it 2 weeks?
That is
2 weeks from now.
No, so so that's why
2 weeks from now we're gonna meet up with you.
Look at the fixtures of the games coming up, right? If you ask any United fans how many points you can get from this game, we cannot really tell. Really, we cannot really tell. For example, the Liverpool game, we were like, we are gonna get smashed and whatnot. But then the team turned up. So that's the issue with United. There's no consistency, and you know, we kind of figured that with Eric Ten Hag coming in, at least somehow the dressing room is solidified. You know, there's some kind of positiveness going on and whatnot. But then again, the old United comes back and back and back. Probably it's the dead hyena buried outside Old Trafford haunting the players and whatnot. We never know. So,
dead hyena there.
so that's my take on the game. So it was a shambolic performance by the team. Second half, no doubt we actually scored 3 goals, but then again, City already left the foot off the pedal and whatnot. But to be honest, right, I don't think even in the first half the City players actually broke a sweat. Players like Jack Grealish and okay, let's not talk about Foden and Haaland now, their class Kevin De Bruyne and whatnot Jack Grealish actually literally looked good in that game, in that game, and I mean, last season when he came into City, bad start and whatnot, and this time around quite slow going into the season and whatnot. But this time around, he actually looked good. Bloody Nathan Ake was carrying the ball from defense all the way close to our final third and what, with no players pressing him, aggression, nothing. Scott McTominay, he will turn up for this kind of derby, getting yellow cards left, right, center, and one. But this time around, it's like he's so scared of the players and whatnot. I don't know what's up with Manchester United. But then I'm just like super disappointed with the lads that day.
But the thing is that you didn't get much injuries from the international break anyway, right? Maybe you just suffering like what Spurs are suffering. Maybe the players coming back from too far away, or suffering jet lag, or or maybe like you said, Manchester derby, you're just switched off. Like we whenever we go to the Emirates, we switch off, right? No matter how much the fan base try to hype up Spurs being the Emirates, we're going to beat them, we're better than them, and blah blah blah, right? But we just switch off, and then we get run over and steamrolled, and then a red card, and that's the end of it, right? But in a day, like I've been saying, right, a lot of us teams now actually are looking at Manchester City and saying that how are we going to catch them, and especially now with Haaland now scoring goals at will. Right, so that's going to be a very difficult task. But I'll just go around the panel and ask the panel, right? Anybody got any comments on the Manchester United game?
Yeah, I did. I want to say something.
Go ahead, Hans.
So I watched the whole game.
Okay.
I think I kind of agree with you. I don't think Ten Hag is playing Ten Hag football. But at the same time, he's not doing himself any favours. With the City game, for example, playing Ericsson deeper, it won't work in that sort of match. He can't, like you said, he can't defend. Ericsson's in this sort of game, you play him as high as possible and around a striker, and you hope that on a breakaway you might get a goal, something like that. And I felt Ten Hag, rather than being so open in a game like this, he should be a bit more reserved. I felt like United should, at some point at least, should shut up shop. Does that make sense? I don't like McFred as a pairing. but in this sort of game, it's probably a better choice considering the options you have. As for City, I mean, where we start, De Bruyne, I think, is more of a problem for me than Haaland. I know Haaland's scoring all the goals, but De Bruyne is literally like the guy just doing everything. You could put Harry Kane there, or you could put even I don't even rate Nunes that much in Liverpool, but you could even put Nunes there, and I think he would still score at least like 20 plus goals, right?
I don't think we put Mitrovic there.
Mitrovic, yeah, just some of the half decent strike Germany, and like they'll still get like 20, 30 goals. Haaland obviously is a problem because obviously he's not going to go to the World Cup, so he won't be tired. That's why we're scared. But I think he's an amazing striker. But at the same time, I think you could put a top quality striker of any of the top 6, and they'll still get like 20, 30 goals.
But what do you think? Like maybe it's like what Manchester United now, right? For Ten Hag, what he's going through is like what Conte is going through. He looks around.
I've
he's
issues
having
with United in general because United have they like us in some ways. Spend more than us. They buy players for the club rather than for the manager. So you end up with a mishmash of a squad. And Ten Hag has got like a 3-4 years to get anywhere near the top. At least 3 or 4 years.
Can I ask you guys something about these players? I swear to God that Kulusevski and Bentancur were both Conte signings.
Yeah, but we're United.
No, sorry, I'm switched. I'm backwards for some reason.
Sorry.
So can I get my thoughts on the Manchester derby, please?
Yeah, we are on the Manchester derby now.
Just finish what I'm saying quickly. Sorry.
Go on, Haz.
Since Alex
I'm surprised.
Let Haz finish.
Let's finish first.
Since Alex left Man United or retired, whatever you want to call it, United have lacked an identity because they bring in a manager who wants to play a certain style or a certain way, whatever you want to phrase it, and then they sign players for the club or behind the manager's back, and then this squad over years and years and years, I look at the United squad and it's just a mismatch of players. Like there's quality there, but if it's not cohesive and fitting the style of the manager that's there, it just doesn't work, and this is why they keep changing managers.
Exactly.
So now they have a new identity under Ten Hag. If they have to stick with the identity they're trying to create or whatever with Ten Hag.
The problem is that they're buying players for commercial value. They're not worried about whether they're going to be suited to Ten Hag. They're more focused about how many. The reason they bought Ronaldo is for one reason. Look what happened the next day. People were queuing outside the shop at Old Trafford to buy the shirt. Right? It's all about the shirt. It's all shirt sales, all about the latest Adidas deals, and that's all they care about. Right? And under that ruleship, you're never going to get any change out of Man United, and they're not going to get back to the top, right?
That's some money, but it just won't be on players that fit the style or the.
No, so unfortunately, it's like having two hands. It's Ten Hag. It's like having two hands tied around his back. For me, like the North London, for the Manchester derby, I think to be fair, he got closer than most other Man United managers have done. To be fair, I know like Solskjaer has won it a couple of times, but like I don't think what else could he have done. I don't really think there's not much else he could have done.
Solskjaer actually has a good record in the Manchester derbies. To be fair.
Can I just add something with Erik Ten Hag? I mean, no doubt, I was talking about the players and whatnot, and I'm still thinking that at this moment, Erik Ten Hag is the man to actually bring us forward. But that game, right? I think 30 minutes in, right? If I was Ten Hag, I would have taken Bruno out. I would have played Eriksen higher up at number 10. I'll take McTominay out. I would have put Casemiro in. I would have put Fred in. Casemiro is clearly not an Erik Ten Hag signing. Okay, if you look at players like Anthony, Martinez, Malacia, and whatnot, the moment they sign them, they're already in the first team and whatnot. But Casemiro, with his track record or the amount of Champions League that he actually won, right, he's struggling to actually get into the team. So I think in a way, Erik Ten Hag should be blamed a bit for this game. He's a bit headstrong in the sense whereby he's like, oh, it's one way. It's pretty much something like Conte. It's my way.
Conte. It's like when
Conte, the formation we actually played that day was pretty much 4-2-4. Or maybe 4-1-5 or whatever it is. Yeah, there's no midfield at that.
But to tell the truth, like Dom, what I see in Manchester United now, right? You guys are going through what we have been going through for the past 14 years or 15 years, right? The managers come in, we don't have longevity with the managers, right? Especially Arthur one, right?
Hang on, Eugene. Hang on. Like they won the league 10 years ago. You ain't won it since it was black. That was its colour.
No, I understand. But
Since colour TVs have been invented. Like
Manchester United is going through what we are going through. They keep changing managers without giving the managers time to actually build an identity that they can actually build on. What we have been doing is that, we've in the past, after Poch, we've got Jose. After Jose, we got Mason. After Mason, we got Nuno. After Nuno, it's going on and on and on. Every time a manager comes in, you get players, one or two players, which is not his style. Like what you were saying about Casemiro. Now we're seeing it with Bissouma, right? A lot of us fans now are actually questioning, is Bissouma actually
a Conte signing?
Yeah, all of us are just questioning that again. Right? Why isn't Bissouma playing? He's supposed to be that midfielder that will actually strengthen our midfield, but instead he still insists on playing the 3-4-3, right? And with the 3-4-3, we are left with shitty wing backs, which can't do anything, and the two midfielders, right, are always exposed, overrun. That's why that's why our performances have been that shitty. And of course, now with Kane, Son, and Richarlison and Decky, let's say Decky's injured now. With Decky and we lose Decky, we lose our creativity. We got Kane, Son, and Richarlison. And I think Richarlison has always been played on the right, which is not his favorite position, right? And with Son and Kane not clicking at the moment, we are not clinical enough. We're not scoring our goals. But for Manchester United, you come to the stage is that you guys have brought in big name players too, but in their day, you've got even a bigger name player, right, sitting on a bench, right, which is actually being a disruption in the whole system. And somehow or another, you're so reluctant to sell him and maintain him there, like what Steven's saying, just for commercial value, right? Just to milk the cow one more year, right, before they let him go.
Ronaldo,
so, yeah, that's the sad part, right?
I mean, Ronaldo should have been gone in the summer.
No, you should have signed Ronaldo back in the first place.
Ronaldo, it's never going to work. So I'm sorry, those days are gone. Like they were just doing it because it brings the historical value and
Stephen, the commercial value was one thing, but that year when Ronaldo went to Manchester United, right, the rumor was that Manchester City was wanting to sign him because they couldn't get him, right? And I think Alex Ferguson stepped in and said that, guys, you have to get him, not let him go to City, right? Maybe if Ronaldo ended up in City, right, they may,
I don't think Man City would have gone through it.
I'm not sure, but of course, Dom, you being the Manchester United fan there, with Ronaldo there at the moment, I know you guys have the love for him, and to tell the truth, he's one of the best players. He's a GOAT, right? We all believe that. But at the age of 37, 38 now, his legs are gone, right? What can you use with him? And we see that, a lot of your Manchester United fan base was saying in the M City game, why didn't Ten Hag bring on Ronaldo, right? And blah blah blah. It was a big hoo-ha on that. And of course,
the one thing good I think about Erik Ten Hag is the way that he's managing the players now. There's no one big player or small player. It's who fits into his particular system at the moment. So with Ronaldo's thing, like you're mentioning him, for me, it's pretty much squad depth. We need the squad depth. If Ronaldo would have left, probably if he left at, the last transfer window, it would have been towards the end of the transfer window. United already spent that amount of money to get Casemiro in and also Anthony in. Definitely, we won't be getting another striker. So pretty much, I believe we're just keeping him right till January, then we'll move him on. Whether we get a replacement or not, I don't know. But maybe they're betting on Mason Greenwood to actually come back into the team right now. Because I think the latest tweet is there's no budget allocated for the January window, so which is a sad thing. All
right, that's a sad part. Right, okay. I think we've done enough of the
excuse me.
Okay,
can I say something, please?
Wait, Nipan, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, people complaining about
You're breaking up, Nipan.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that people complaining. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm saying people are complaining about, oh, this is a Casemiro as a club signing, not a manager signing. The people need to remember that when Liverpool had Brendan, I think it was Brendan Rodgers or Jurgen Klopp in his first season. Klopp, one of them wanted Mario Götze and Julian Brandt from Dortmund and Leverkusen, respectively, but the club gave him Salah and Mane. They were club signings, not manager signings, and look how they turned out. So all I'm saying is it's not always a bad thing to get club signings.
But the point is that, right, when you bring players of that stature, like, you spend that kind of money for Casemiro, or we spend money for Bissouma, right? And especially, to tell the truth, Bissouma is already Premier League proven, right? He plays for Brighton. You get what I'm saying? Why isn't Conte using him? Yeah. And then you're saying that Casemiro, he's from Real Madrid, Champions League winner, Spanish League title winner. Why isn't Ten Hag using him straight away? So there must be something going on there. So, but maybe he's not up to the standard, like, at the moment now, like what Conte is saying, that for Bissouma, he's tactically not ready to take up that position, right? I'm not sure what Ten Hag's saying about Casemiro, where maybe it's his fitness thing, or his tactics doesn't. But at the moment, what I see now is that, like, for being a Spurs fan, we look at Conte. We keep saying, why is he so stubborn? Why is he sticking to that formation? Why doesn't he change formation? Why doesn't he do this sub? Why does he do this? Why doesn't he use Spence? Why doesn't he, it goes on and on and on. But when we look back at our bench, right, it's like what I feel is that, right, our transfer window wasn't a Conte transfer window because Conte didn't get the players that he wanted. Simple as that. And at the moment now,
he was a Conte player.
No, but that was in January. You can see Bentancur, that was in January. You understand, Nipun? But like now, what Dom is going through right now is that you guys, I think, spent too much time, right? The focus on Frankie de Jong. I think that mostly was Ten Hag's problem. That you guys just forgot about the rest of the transfer window, and the last week or so, most of the players coming in, right? Apart, of course, Anthony and Martinez, right? Big money signings, right? Spurs will never pay the kind of money for players. You get what I'm saying? But of course, like maybe Casemiro was like a panic buy, right? Just to cover some holes at the moment. That's how I see it. But of course, I think we shall move on from the Manchester United derby, right? Let's go to some more happy news for Newcastle fans.
Would you want to go to the other derby, Nottingham Forest Leicester?
There's no one representing Leicester.
Try getting Chris or Brad.
No, but the thing is that Chris is supposed to come in, but the problem is that we don't have enough space on the show. But never mind. Dom, you please plug your channel, right? And of course, let everyone know when you're doing a show again.
Thanks for having me on this channel. I'm from Jom United. We are covering Manchester United post-match reactions and also discuss everything Manchester United. So the next time we're going on live is probably this our Malaysian time Friday evening to dissect the Europa League game. Again, thanks. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Probably I'll see you guys again.
I'll see you guys soon.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Dom, maybe there's one more spot. Maybe Chris will drop in. I did invite Chris. Chris says he will hop on after lunch, but I'm not sure whether he's in the chats or anything. Chris, you're watching. There's an empty space now. If you want to hop on, you can hop on. Then we'll talk about the Leicester game. But since there's no one representing Leicester, right? We'll more or less, how you say it, move on to the Newcastle game first before we go over to the Chelsea and West Ham game. Newcastle game, right? 4-0 Fulham. We didn't actually expect that because we thought Fulham would give a better fight than that. Yeah. Right? With Mitrovic scoring and being such a prolific, whatever. I don't know how to say that word.
Prophetic.
I think also we had a bit of luck. 8 minutes they get what's his name sent off, and then it was
Chaloba.
Yeah, and from 8 minutes down, you're going to play 80 minutes with 10 men. That's quite a task. And but I think Newcastle, we had a rough 7 games, no wins, 6 draws and 1 loss. So I think it's a good start. And I've always been a fan of Almiron, and I think he doesn't get enough credit for the work he does. Hardworking player, always trying, but doesn't seem to have the luck. But hopefully this season he seems to be picking up. Confidence is good, and then our midfield was strong. We got Bruno back in the center, and then first time we're playing without Joe Linton, and I think that opened up a bit for Willock to run on the wings a bit. But I think overall Newcastle is good. Just the only problem is we seem to be losing our strikers every other game. So
Wilson injured again?
Wilson, he'll play 1-2 games, get injured. Isak is injured, so that's a worry for us. Wood will never get a 5 or 10 games straight. That kind of thing. So hopefully it's 1-for-1 cover now. It's either Wilson or Isak. And if both of them are out, I mean, we have problems up front actually. Because
But I think during the game, Almiron was doing very well, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Steven.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna.
no, I'm just saying that we don't have any other backup strikers if the front two really goes, if they're on the sidelines.
And Steven, what you want to say, Steven? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to ask Johan, what do you make of Alexander Isak? Because we were linked with him in January.
I mean, if we, I don't think
Especially young.
how would play with 2 strikers up front. It's gonna be one striker looks like it, and then he likes to play down the wings with the 2 wingers. So I think but I would like to see 2 strikers up front, but I think the modern game doesn't allow it. But Isak, young prospect.
He's one to develop. He's very young, isn't he?
Yeah, 21. So a lot of potential. So let's see.
But he's a bit scrawny, don't you think?
I mean, when you look at Henry when he arrived at Arsenal, that's what he was. So
but to be fair, if you look at the build of Henry, he looks so much stronger than Isak. To be fair.
Yeah, but of course, like we were saying, we got a player called Brian Hill, right? He came on. And he came on Tuesday night, right, against Frankfurt, and he just bounced off the players and fell down most of the time. And I was going, oh dear, what the hell was that? It reminds me of some game that Malaysia played last time against England, an English team. I think that was in the 80s, And when the English players were so big, and then when they went for the ball ahead, right, the Malaysian player just bounced and just bounced off.
Can I ask Johan something? Sorry,
Brian Hill still plays for Tottenham. I thought he went out. I thought he left.
He was meant to go on loan. But
yeah, he didn't. He wasn't sent on loan. Yeah, he played. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Has.
Yeah. Sorry, Johan. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. So, with Eddie Howe, do you see him being in Newcastle in 2-3 years? Because I'm looking at this in the trajectory of the way City built up with this big money. They had Mark Hughes, I remember. Yeah. They sacked him, they got in Mancini, and they won a title. And do you see Eddie Howe still being here, say, in 2-3 years? And also, which players do you think, say, hypothetically speaking, Eddie Howe goes or the squad changes a lot? Because he's Isak, like Steven mentioned, and Bruno Guimaraes are, say, 2 early signings that you guys made under this new ownership, right? So do you still see, say, those players still being here in 2-3 years? And do you guys see Eddie Howe still being here in 2-3 years? Because you mentioned the 2 striker thing.
Yeah.
As in most modern teams don't play that. And Eddie Howe only really managed Bournemouth okay. Yeah. Just what do you think? I don't know.
I mean it's a if Newcastle can somehow manage to get top 7, I think within the next 2-3 years, I think Howe would still be around, but then it really depends on what whether the owners are a bit more ambitious, But I think let's just go top 7, make a Europa League run, and take it from there. But I think it's to build, like you said, to build for the future, and if we do make it to Europe, that's when you attract better coaches, So for the time being, I'm actually quite happy with how Eddie Howe plays his football, and I think we're quite entertaining. It's just so much more different from when we had Steve Bruce, because that was just
Steve Bruce.
horrible football. But at least now you enjoy the football, even though we don't get the results, but we go back satisfied.
That's good. That's good. Guys in the chats, thanks for your support. Right, there's about 12 of you guys. If you could, right, just give a subscribe, a like, and love for guys like Hasper on Hasper TV, Stephen Fitley TV, right, and of course NS Sports, right.
I love how everyone says Stephen Fitley TV. It's S Fitley TV.
Oh, sorry, S Fitley TV, right? Yeah, Stephen always reminds me about that. Right, guys, thanks for that, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and like on the Spurs Vision TV too. Right.
Yeah.
But guys, let's go around the panel, right? Stephen, what do you think about Newcastle? Will they be one of the challengers in 1 or 2 seasons times?
I don't think 1 or 2 seasons, to be fair. I think it will be probably. It's going to take about 3 or 4, to be honest, to get up towards Champions League, and then maybe another 2 seasons to get towards the title. Because it's not like. Was it like it was back in the day with Man City and Chelsea, where there wasn't teams? They were like the only 2 teams maybe throwing money at it. So, I mean, so much money in it. And Chelsea's been the clear example. But now it's it's going to have to be a long-term plan, and I don't think it will be just. There'll be a few managers. It won't just be Eddie Howe. He'll take them up to a certain level, and then they'll get a better manager, and then that'll get them to another level, and they'll get another manager that could take them to the title level. So, yeah, for me, it's still another 3-4 years down the line to just even to get towards like being mixed in with the Big 6, and then we'll call it the Big 7.
Yeah, that means we have to extend it to call it the Big 7 by then, right? So let's get to Arthur. Yeah, Arthur, haven't heard from you for some time, right? Since the beginning of the show. Newcastle up and coming, spending lots of money, right? Maybe in two seasons time they were going to challenge us for the top 7 spots.
No, I think Steve is probably right. Anywhere between 3 and 6 years for them to challenge for all these prizes, and certainly I can't see them winning the league for at least 5 years.
5 years, that's quite quick, right?
Yeah.
But what about their cup prospects? Right.
Oh, they definitely could do something in the cup. Definitely. I mean, anyone could win the FA Cup. To be fair, I mean, Wigan won it and got relegated the same season. For God's sake, right? And that's a record in itself.
Yeah, Leicester won it too, right?
Yeah. And now look at them. So now they can't even buy a win since then. So and actually, like, that's a good thing to go on before I go, because Brendan Rodgers, I don't know what is going on at Leicester City, but are they blind? Are they actually blind? Like, the guy is used. I mean, I don't know what their last result is. I mean, I did check.
They beat. Who did they beat?
Nottingham Forest.
They beat Forest 4-0 or something like that.
Madison they beat Forest 4-0. So that means you'll stay in for another 10 games then.
Yeah, most probably, right.
Like, you can beat Nottingham Forest 4-0, but you've conceded 22 goals. Hang on, you 22 goals. You've only got 4 points on the board. You played 8 games. The guy is on relegation form, right? The next game, I don't see where they're going to get a next win from. The next game is against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have actually picked up since Scott Parker left. Crystal Palace, they'll probably get torn apart. Leeds aren't doing that badly. Wolves are struggling, but I think they'll be able to beat them. Man City, oh God, I don't want to know what they'll do to Man City. They'll probably put 9 bars them. I'm not even joking. You know what I mean? So the guy is done. It's done. It's kind of like what happened with Liverpool. He had that one great season, where he got so close to the title, apart from Gerrard slipping, giving Demba Ba.
Demba Ba.
And then ever since then, he just went down a cliff, and they were in the bottom half of the table until Klopp took over. Right, so Leicester, I'm sure Leicester aren't going to be that stupid and do what they did with Ranieri. Yes, Ranieri won the title, but the next season they realised they couldn't end up getting relegated because of the amount of contracts he put on him. So they got rid of him, and surely some point down the line they're going to have to do the same thing. Saying, yeah, you want to see FA Cup, but you've got to go. I mean, even Chris, I'm sure maybe I don't know what Chris is saying now, but last time I spoke to him, even he was Brendan Rodgers out, and he likes to keep his managers in. He wants to keep Southgate in, for God's sake. I mean,
Gareth Southgate.
What?
Yeah,
Is that true?
No,
Steve,
well,
is that true?
No. Apart from the last time I spoke to him, he was making excuses for. Last time I spoke to him about the Gareth Southgate, he was saying that he's done decently from the tournaments we've been in. But if he's now saying that Brendan Rodgers has got to go, then for God's sake, he's got to go.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, don't forget Rodgers has had top quality players sold from under him, and on top of that, some of the other quality players like Vardy are on the run down. They're running out of steam now. They're getting old, so he needs a bloody rebuild.
But they don't have the money. That's the thing, they don't have the money. But Manny, just get to you, Manny, about the Newcastle thing, right? So for Newcastle now, I think they are the new boys on the block, right? With the money that's been coming in and all that, and of course the managers see like how do you feel, right? Will they be a threat soon, or will they take a long time?
It's going to take a long time, I think. Everything that.
Hang on, sorry, Manny. Before you go, I'm just going to go off because I'm.
All right, you better go and rest. Yeah, I know. You better go and rest. Take care.
Right.
See you soon, Steve.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a lot to say about Leicester. And look, Stephen and I disagree on a lot of things, and he often cuts into me at times. So now that he's gone, I am going to have my say. And so with Newcastle first, I'm going to agree with King Arthur. Your Majesty.
Thank you, sir.
And Stephen, and say that it will take a very long time because, in addition, Stephen, I think, mentioned how City sacked Mark Hughes and brought in Roberto Mancini, and they've been, trying to get some really top quality managers ever since. Of course, Guardiola himself replaced Manuel Pellegrini, who was a pretty half decent manager in his own right, and. They've been stuck with Guardiola ever since, and it is going to be a long rebuilding process. It just goes to show you, money won't necessarily buy you success, and they're going to have to sort of come up with an idea, a blueprint of what type of players they want, what type of manager they want, and the style they want to play. And it's surprising that they've put their trust in Eddie Howe, to be honest, because he made his name, of course, with Bournemouth, having been able to. Make sure that team punched above their weight for a few seasons until eventually they got relegated. But I think they were impressed with the way he was able to work with a few of the players. And obviously, he got quite a few players in during the summer, and he's got them playing decently. They're a team which has a great deal of fight and obviously know how to play a decent brand of football. The problem is, I think it's their own lack of concentration, I would say, which has not been able to help get the wins they needed. So this win against Fulham was as wide as it was unexpected, and I applaud you, Johan, for being level-headed enough to say that you had the luck of the early sending off, because I think we can both agree that Fulham this season were looking quite splendid, especially with the way they were able to.
They're looking good.
I mean, I had them down to be relegated, but now they pretty much proved me wrong. Just goes to show you can never really judge everything immediately, and things can change. And certainly the style of football that Silva was able to get from his team, having a strong defence with Tim Ream at the heart of it, and being able to have a decent midfield, enough to provide supply to Mitrovic and also to De Cordova Reed and others. So obviously the style of football they were playing was quite impressive. So it had to take something seismic to lose by that margin at Craven Cottage. And as good as value as Newcastle were for that win, because they had the opportunity and made it count, I think I like that level-headedness of admitting that the sending off did play a big role. But especially after Newcastle's performance against Manchester City, where you had Almiron and Saint Maximin and Wilson, combining brilliantly, getting behind the City defence, exposing their weakness and pumping them for 3 goals. Newcastle were due a win at some point, and I'm glad it was able to materialise. The only problem is the way Newcastle have been for so many seasons and the way the team is now. It will take something really special, drastic in terms of overhauling the current squad, in terms of getting maybe 5 or 6 really top quality players and maybe letting them in to make that team to turn that team into a team that can compete for higher honours. I would say, though, that maybe this season, if Newcastle were to have a decent cup run and maybe win either the FA Cup or the League Cup, then maybe, the added lure of playing in Europe could attract a few more players in, and maybe through that way you could build. It's a bit like how we Arsenal fans say, if we can qualify for the Champions League, at least we can get some quality players in. And we could have qualified for the Champions League had you not beaten us 2-0 at St. James's Park. And you did that with a player. You did that with a player that we were interested in, but he snubbed us and joined you and scored that goal, and the rest is history. So you are progressing quite well, but you won't get that success and that heady feeling of challenging overnight. It will take at least a few years, although maybe a domestic title, domestic cup could help, because the added prize of playing in Europe will be a nice carrot for some people to join if they want to have, a new experience. So it will take some time.
That's good. Hanno, have your say, because Hanno's going to head off soon. Hanno, go ahead.
I just quickly want to give my thoughts on the Spurs Arsenal game. Spurs were just dominated. Conte and the players both at fault at the end, and on the Manchester derby, like Coach Dom said, it was just basically the United players didn't turn up. But again, there's questions around Ten Hag. Why didn't he change it, the game plan or the tactics? Tell him like, okay, now you guys need to do this or do that. Just something to, if you're going to sit back, just try and be more compact, because you look last season or a few seasons ago, Leeds United, what they did to City, sit back almost the entire game and then just counter attack and won the game, or just do something like that. And yeah, on the Newcastle game, Newcastle out of form, and then they just decide to go smash Fulham 4-1. I thought Fulham would do well. Maybe get a win, maybe get a draw. No, Newcastle, they finally turn up for once in a while. But I want to ask Johan. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Eddie Howe, has he been? Do you think he's been the best he can be? Like, has he done better for you guys? Has he maybe out Newcastle a bit back, or was it plays like that bad run you guys went on? Was it his fault, or was it more the players' fault?
Yeah, Johan.
He's on mute.
Yeah. Yeah, nice timing. Can you hear us, Johan?
Can you hear?
Johan? I think you can't hear us.
We can't.
You can't hear us.
I hear you.
You're on mute, Johan. Maybe you might be on mute.
Technical issues, right?
Because he doesn't say he's on mute on the thing. I don't know what's going on.
No, he does. He's not on mute.
Now he's on mute.
Okay. Now he's not on
He's
mute.
not. Can't hear him.
Technical issues. Johan has got some technical issues.
Yeah, technical issues.
Yeah, can you hear us, Johan? Thumbs up. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah. So I guess Johan might just have to type it in then in the private chat.
Yeah, type it in the chat.
But I think Johan is having some internet connection problems or anything like that. But
I think Levy would do pavement.
Yeah. Do you want to hop in, hop out?
Oh no.
Yeah, you got to sign in and sign out.
Jump out and then jump back in. Maybe try that.
Yeah. Right. And sign back in.
Eugene, news flash.
Yes.
Not football, but if anybody likes country music, Loretta Lynn has just died.
Oh dear. Right. But she's not that young, right?
No, doesn't matter though, does it? You know, it's another icon gone.
Yeah.
Rest in paradise.
Rest in peace.
Anyway, Eugene, can I just make a point here? Yes, I was pretty quiet with what was going on earlier, so I was interested in listening to what people were saying.
Yeah.
I've got to get back to the North London derby. 4 major points. One, Conte got his tactics wrong. 2, the team had no belief. Spurs, they didn't believe in themselves. 3, obviously, Royale. 4, 4, the major cock up by Hugo to lose the ball. There were the 4 turning points in that game.
Yeah, that's what Chelsea OG says that too. Yeah,
he would.
After B says so. Yeah.
We know we suck.
Yeah. RIP to Loretta Lynn.
We know we suck.
Yeah, we know he sucks. Right? But of course, Manny, your thoughts on the Leicester game too? You want to continue on that?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much indeed. My history with Leicester and Brendan Rodgers is a bit of a complicated one. And people, this season, obviously people will talk about how they say that Jurgen Klopp has a sort of a 7-season hoodoo where he does well for 7 seasons and then it all goes downhill. And with Rodgers as well, it might be about 2 or 3 seasons, then it goes downhill. I was one of those managers. I'm one of those fans who, I believe it was you, King Arthur, who mentioned that they were selling players behind his back. The Fofana issue obviously did not help with regard to team spirit.
Yeah.
So he obviously has to try and rebuild the team. And the problem is, as Mick Hucknall of Simply Red would say, money's just too tight to mention. Sad that the Manchester United fan has gone. I'm sure he would have liked that reference. But I was one of those people who was backing Rodgers at the very beginning because I really liked how he was able to actually improve in a way on the legacy of Ranieri, because Ranieri came in, saved the club from relegation, took them to that magnificent Premiership win, and he did take them a little bit far in the Champions League, but then they decided they had to, twist and part company with him, otherwise risk getting relegated. But with Rodgers, he had two consecutive seasons of making sure Leicester would cement their status as a top Premiership team. And of course, the FA Cup win was quite special. And then they got to the semi-finals of the Conference League. And then it ended up starting as badly as it did. Here's the thing, though. David Moyes, after his first 3 games, had a record of played 3, lost 3, with no goals scored. Why were there no calls for his sacking? And I predicted that West Ham would struggle this season. And, notwithstanding their win over Wolves, which saw Bruno Lage getting sacked, it has been a struggle. So with Rodgers, given the mitigating circumstances, he would struggle. And in all of his matches, we would see that they'd attack really well, with Maddison and Tielemans running the show and Justin also powering down the left flank. I like Justin a great deal. I would like to see him start more games for England as a left-back option. I mean, people talk about a crisis at left-back if Luke Shaw isn't there. Bring in James Justin. He'd be outstanding. And, they have the players. They have the attacking know-how. It's just that defensively, for the most part, they've looked very shaky, and those moments have been punished. I predicted that Leicester would beat Nottingham Forest because, both of these teams have, had pretty poor seasons. And, Forest obviously had a lot of excitement, but now they look very disoriented. And I don't know where they can buy a win. They're leaking goals by the hatful. But I never expected that Leicester would turn on the style that way. And I actually watched that game completely. And it was amazing to see how Maddison was able to turn on the style. Harvey Barnes, Tielemans, everyone having a good game. And then, Patson Daka came on and had that cheeky little back heel. If Dean Henderson doesn't get dropped after that, it's ridiculous. But that's how good Leicester can play when everything clicks and when they have the luck on their side. There was a point when I was actually thinking that maybe, the Leicester the Rodgers experiment should be ended, because after they lost to Brighton and Spurs the way they did, conceding goals after going at halftime 2-2, it's as if, they just allowed themselves to fall apart. But maybe the King Power Stadium was what they needed, a full crowd, a Midlands derby. They turned on the style, and they just have to remember what to do and how to do it. The next game will be against Bournemouth, who also were tipped by many to be relegated. They can't score goals either. So Leicester actually do have a route back. So I've gone from supporting Rodgers to deciding that he should leave to now saying, you know what, he deserves another chance to continue. And I believe that if he gets a... Thank you, Your Majesty. And I think that if he is able to now suddenly get them performing better, he's replaced Fofana with Wout Faes, who, after a difficult start, has
getting Maddison.
We're almost like Maddison, exactly.
That thing, I'm just going on.
I'm pretty certain that, if Leicester decide that they want to keep Maddison, no amount of money will... I'd love Maddison too, but the problem is I'm not sure he'd play with Arteta favouring Odegaard. But anyway, Leicester were good value for their win, and Rodgers has now proven, at least with this game, that he deserves a little bit of a chance to continue to do what he's doing. And if he can do the same things right, if he can get that balance right against Bournemouth and score some goals and go on a run, who needs there should be no question of him getting sacked, but maybe at the end of the season he might decide to have a new challenge. I don't want to see managers leave before the end of the season, but he's earned a half chance. I want to see him take it. And Forest look awful. Steve Cooper is a man who should be looking behind us over his shoulder.
Yeah, that's good. But I can't blame Steve Cooper, right? He's got like 22 new players coming in. That's the thing.
Yeah. Is Benitez going to Nottingham Forest maybe now?
I don't know. Maybe they're looking into that's a rumor. Yeah, they're looking into that option. Maybe to put Benitez into it. All right, but now let's go to Kesha. Your thoughts on the Arteta's having lunch?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Kesha, your thoughts on the oh my God, what Bobby K says. Bobby K says this, Eugene, I found my Leicester kid. You want to pass it off and represent. No, it's okay. Right, you're a Spurs fan. Won't force you to do that, right? All right, Kesha, your thoughts on the Newcastle game and, of course, whatever games that you want to talk about for the weekend. And
sure,
after that, West Ham had a very good win, right?
Yeah. Let me start off with the West Ham win. To be honest, I was very nervous, really nervous, because of the form we were in, and it's it's very difficult to say because you look at the squad we have, and you think that with the likes of Skamaka and Lucas Paqueta, we should be able to play well, play fluidly, but in the beginning of the season hasn't gone like that. So we looked like we were in relegation form. We looked like we had run out of ideas. And to be honest, this started way earlier from last season. Our form, just completely collapsed. And to be honest, the Europa League has covered the way we have gone through our season last season. But coming to this season, the Wolves game, I was very nervous because you look at Wolves, they have a very good side. Navas is they've got players like Navas, Moutinho, Diego Costa has come back to the Premier League, so I was also a bit nervous about that. But I say we have to give a much better performance. We have to give a performance that the West Ham fans can be proud of. And I thought we did that today. That in that game, I was very impressed with Carrera. I was impressed with Skamaka. I don't know whether you saw the goal, but I thought Skamaka's goal was brilliant. I know it had a bit of a deflection, but it's a goal. So I'm really pleased with that. It's given him a bit of confidence now to go and move forward with how he scores the goals. And then you look at Paqueta, he's got his own technique and technical way of playing. Bowen has come back into the fold now with him scoring goals, and it's just what we needed. And Rice played well to his levels, which we know how he plays. Souček, West Ham fans criticize Souček because his form has not been great, lack of commitment, I would say, and people want him dropped and to put Flynn Downs in, which we got from Swansea. But we have to give a bit of stick to Souček because I think he's given us a lot of solidity in the midfield, and I know he's been criticized at times, but he's one of our probably second best midfielders, and he performed well on that day. But even though we
yes, Nipan.
I never got a chance to have my say on the Newcastle game.
I'll come to you soon. We'll come to you soon, Nipan. Let Kesha finish first, and then we'll come to you. Then we'll go to the Crystal Palace and Chelsea game too. Yeah,
that's okay. As I was saying about the West Ham game, even though we won against Wolves, I can still see the issues that comes, with us now. We have to get consistency because I think that's important. And if you look at West Ham, we are not really consistent. Yes, I know we won, but still there is still issues that can happen in terms of defense, in terms of strikers' position, especially, but I think this win has sort of given us confidence, and I hope Moyes can now look and see this is the lineup we've put. We've got Cornet at the left, we've got Bowen at the right, we've got Paqueta playing in the middle, and Skamaka up top. We've got a very good, solid lineup. I don't want him to go and change it. I know Moyes is, for him, he's very defensive. He likes to stick to his own ways of playing, and I don't like that. We've got a good enough squad to say, let's attack. We've got to step it up now, and we've got to raise our level. And that's in the Conference League. We've done it. We're probably first in the group right now when we're playing Anderlecht this week. So I hope that we can get another win, gain some confidence. We've got Fulham on Sunday, so that's not going to be easy because Fulham are a good side and probably a good moment. I know they lost 4-0, but you look at the players like Cordova Reed and Cabano and all these players. So it is going to be another tough game, but I expect us to go full head on. No dilly-dallying on being defensive and playing this three at the back because we've got a good team and we need to build a foundation or sort of get back to the levels we were. And I hope this win has sort of done that. And because as a West Ham fan, you get sort of irritated with how I get irritated when West Ham fans are very impatient and sort of annoyed with how the team's performance is. What we want as West Ham fans to give 100%. We want to play for the shirt, to play for the badge, because that's what West Ham fans demand. So I was happy, I was proud of the players because that's the performance we need. Why can't we put performances in like that? Because we need consistency, and if you don't show consistency, that shows signs of not of a good team. So we need to get consistency. This is the lineup we should put, no chopping, changing, because look, Tilo Kehrer has been, to be honest, I don't know whether anybody has seen this, but I thought the bargain of West Ham's transfer has to be Tilo Kehrer, because I tell you, I don't know why PSG sold him. He's been fantastic, to be honest. He's played for Germany at right back, he played so well, and Moyes put him at right back, and he even played better than I thought. So well done for Moyes to be putting him there, and I hope this win can be built on further, and it's important. So I'll give Moyes.
Have you changed teams?
Bobby out. Hey Brian.
Hey Brian.
Bobby. So good to see you.
Bobby K is wearing a Leicester jersey. Look at that.
Oh my god. What the hell happened there?
I always knew it was a flip-flop. I always knew.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, sorry, Eugene. It took me a little bit there. I had to find the thing and dust it off, but
oh dear, still fits.
Still fits. That's had to suck in the gut a little bit, but I got this kit as a gift when I was 16 years old, man. It's 30 years old. Jesus. So
he looks it.
Hey. You just answer my question. What did Iris make for lunch?
Nothing yet. I was feeding the cat.
Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. The cat gets fed before you. Good morning, all you beautiful people. How's everybody doing today?
Fine.
Bobby, I always knew you were flip-flop.
Hanno, don't you start. Hanno out.
Big up, Cody Mac. Big up, right? What does it say? The shirt fit.
Cody Mac.
Bobby, you look like an elegant sausage.
Cody, I love
let me just say, big up, Cody. Obviously, and everyone in the chat. Big up, everyone on the panel.
Big up. Good morning.
Big up, and I just need to say, Your Royal Highness King Arthur. How are you, brother?
Better for seeing you, Brian.
Hopefully, you'll be seeing me sooner than you
think.
Wow,
dig.
That'd be nice.
Okay, just introduce guys around. Bobby K, Brian Daigle, right? Meet Keshav. Keshaf's from Malaysia. He's
met Keshav.
Yep. And of course, Mani's from he's from India. He's an Arsenal fan. Hanno's from South Africa, and he's a Chelsea fan. And I'm sure all you guys met Nippon before, right? All you guys met Nippon before, right? So
yeah.
Good to have you guys on. And Keshav, you're going on about West Ham, right? Having the win actually takes you out of the relegation spots, right? So that gives you a bit of more confidence. But at the moment now, you guys are going back into the Conference League. That might take a bit of toll on the team again. That's how I see it. But of course, Nippon, are you still there? I'm not sure Nippon there.
He's on
and your thoughts on the Newcastle
Keshav a question. Sorry, when you're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Keshav, what is West Ham's expectations of David Moyes this season, or in general? Because when I watch West Ham, it kind of reminds me of when Spurs got Martin Jol, when we had a group of players who were like somewhat average, some were good, and then in the end, Joel punched above his weight to take us into the top 5. So, what is Moyes' expectations, and what are your fans' expectations this season?
Well, what I'm hoping is that we get top 8 maximum, because looking at our sort of form in the beginning of the season hasn't been good, and to be honest, realistically, West Ham should be right now top 10 side. And now we should be aiming for top 8 because, and if you ask me personally, I would probably love West Ham to go back into the Europa League and probably go on a cup run, because I think, we as West Ham fans do love a cup run, and, we want to get back to winning FA Cups and Carabao Cups. But what I just want is consistency right now. I'm not really thinking about what position we should finish, because we have to focus on the team and we have to focus on the way we are playing, because I feel as though we have tried to be coming back to last season, but it's to do with the form we had, and sort of we completely dropped off from last season. I mean, we were. I remember we lost to Liverpool. We won against Liverpool 3-2, and then somehow rather we just dropped off. And sort of the Europa League has sort of hindered or sort of covered that fact that we actually really played so poorly in the Premier League. Yes, I know we finished 7th. Credit to us for finishing there. But at the same time, it's like, can we get some consistency this season? And there is a lot of pressure on us, the fact because we got so many players now. And we needed it because of the fact that our squad that was really bad.
I mean, you signed Skamaka, which on paper looks like a very good signing. I was very jealous, to be honest.
Yeah. And Paqueta too. You got Paqueta.
Yeah, Paqueta was the big one.
We went to Paqueta too.
Big one.
Yeah, true, right? At least to both.
2 players I think at Tottenham. Personally.
I'm starting to rude.
100%.
How dare you say our transfer activity? How dare you?
You had to get him started, Harris. Well done.
We everyone wished they had the window we did. It was phenomenal. Outstanding.
Well,
Brilliant.
being a fake Leicester fan, I'm very unhappy with our window.
I wish I was
chatting
back in
shit.
London. Do you reckon?
Brian,
Of course, we're chatting shit.
we had the best transfer window.
Yeah,
Oh, hands down. 12 out of 10.
Don't you start, Nippon. You needed a
Well,
midfielder. You didn't even get it until deadline day. And he had problems with his work permit, all right? People who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
Oh.
But okay, guys.
Okay.
Let's come back to let's come back to the next London derby, right? Nippon's from Chelsea, right? So you played Crystal Palace. Conor Gallagher got a winner in the end, right? And there were a lot of controversy in that game. So
Thiago should have had a red.
Yeah, and then they were saying Thiago should have a red card and all that. Yeah. But the thing is that
should have definitely been a red card.
Yeah, 100%.
We got away with murder there. I'm not going to be one of those Chelsea fans who are shameless, like, oh, it wasn't a red now. That was definitely a red, and we got away with murder.
But in the end, you got the 3 points, right? So
yeah,
I guess,
that's all I care about at the end of the day.
At the end,
and I'm sure if it was your team, you wouldn't care either.
100% not.
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, like,
I don't care as long as we win.
Yeah. But guys,
exactly.
before we go on,
if it's in my favor, hell no, I ain't saying nothing.
Now, hold on, guys. Hanno popped off, right? If you could just give Hanno some love, show some love.
Yeah.
His YouTube channels in the chats, right? Just give him some subscribes, right? So he's about short of I'm not sure how many to 200, but right.
I think he was saying 170 something the other day.
Yeah. He's the the alternate version of Dan THFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even got.
I like Hanno though. He's a cheeky little shit.
Yeah. But okay, let's get back to Nippon. Nippon, your thoughts on the Crystal Palace game, the Newcastle game, the West Ham game, the North London derby, the Leicester situation. Your thoughts. Here's your chance. Go ahead.
Well, my thoughts on the North London derby. Sorry if I'm saying it on the Tottenham channel, but you guys were dominated. But you guys will have your own revenge at White Hart Lane.
Nice recovery. I like
know
that.
Stephen won't agree with me on this, but it is a mentality block. You can never beat them at the Emirates. You can never beat them at the Emirates, but they can never beat you at White Hart Lane.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
I already told Stephen that we have a deal. We share the 3 points. Simple as that. And he wasn't going to meet it.
Yeah.
Yeah, by some coincidence, we beat you 3-1 last season, and you beat us 3-0. So this season, it might be another 3-0.
Yeah,
I hope so.
What do you mean by share 3 points?
No, it's a deal we made with Arsenal, right? We share the 3 points. We lose there, and they lose at our home, so it's a shared 3 points.
To be fair, at least, okay. I'm surprised these Tottenham fans weren't being shameless, saying at least we can score at the Emirates.
No, we're not going to say that.
I'm surprised I didn't see any shameless Tottenham fans saying at least we can score at the Emirates while you can't score.
Nippon, you're on the wrong channel, Nippon. You're on the wrong channel, right? Yeah. But go ahead, Nippon. Sorry to disturb you on your Newcastle and the rest of the games. The thoughts of the rest of the games.
Well, the West Ham game. Look, they have 2 quality players on their hands, and it pains me to say it as a fellow London rival. Yeah, Bowen and Skamaka should both be called up for their respective. Oh wait, no. Skamaka can't.
They're both in it, so.
Yeah, they're already in it.
Get a call up for the England squad. He's quality, in my opinion.
You got Declan Rice too, right? You got Rice, Paqueta, Bowen, Skamaka.
Well, Rice is going to be. So,
yeah, so I've been for the World Cup for Qatar.
Yeah, right. But
Declan Rolls Royce.
Yeah. So I think the next part is that I guess we'll go into the games in the Europe, right? West Ham will be
And the Newcastle game, I actually thought.
Newcastle game, yeah.
I think Haz was trying to throw something in there. What was that, Haz?
Yeah, I was going to ask Nippon. Is he still there?
Nippon, are you frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. No, he's moving.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I was saying Newcastle versus Fulham. Man,
Go ahead.
I thought it was going to be a closer game than I thought. I didn't think it would be that one-sided.
Yeah. It was that early red card that kind of put him behind the 8 ball right away, right? So that changed the game. Any early red card, we geez, what took us 28 seconds to get one in a Champions League final? Yeah, we know how early red card can screw a game up.
Oh
yeah.
I'll ask him now then. Yeah. So Nippon, you guys got Potter. Do you think number one he can step up to a bigger club than Brighton? And number two, do you think under this new ownership they're doing a different direction in terms of a long-term project? I hate that word, but yeah. What do you think?
My answer to both questions is only time will tell.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's a simple one. Real simple and quick.
Yeah, I know.
That's a political answer. That's a politician's answer. That's a cop-out answer, Nippon. Come on now. Man asked you a direct question. Give a direct answer.
There's one thing you will not get from me, which is lies. There's one thing that separates me from politicians, is that I'm not a liar.
Yeah, all politicians are like that, so we won't go there. But of course, coming back down, right? So now we finish off. Any thoughts on the games on the weekend? Bobby's just joined us. Brian's just joined us. Let's get to Bobby first. Bobby,
sure, buddy.
North London Derby. Your feelings? I was talking. Okay, before we go on, right? I was actually doing a live watch along with Haz last night.
Yeah.
For 3 a.m. in the morning, we watched that shit show. Go on.
Poor Eugene, right? Should have slept.
Yeah. I slept for about 5 hours today. So then I go on to other Spurs channels and I was watching them saying, "Oh, we did quite well. We played well. We blah blah blah." I was going like, was I watching the same game? Right. So I'm going like, what's going on here? Right. But okay, Bobby K.
Yeah.
Your thoughts. North London, the North London Derby.
North London Derby, very simple. Yesterday's game.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to touch on this lightly because I can see the steam is building in my neighbor's head over here, and I know he's going to explode. So I'll just keep it light and simple. Give the carpenter the tools he needs to build the shed he needs, and you will get what you need. And it's simple as that. You don't give the person that you want to accomplish a job the tools they need to accomplish a job, it's not going to be accomplished. I know the fact that people are screaming for Conte out is absolutely fucking maddening.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely maddening.
Where did go off Conte, Bobby?
I know for me personally, I'm just kind of disappointed because I honestly thought after that Leicester game that have we finally almost hit a stride kind of thing? Have we've kind of gone up a little notch now, or are we going to start gelling? Because if we could have just built on the way we finished, then we'd be all right. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's saying, oh, the quality of football, blah, blah, blah. The results are there and everything like that. But now we're not getting the results and the quality of football is poor. So naturally, fans are going to turn, and it's fucking Brighton away, man, next. Not an easy ask.
That's true.
So I was disappointed because I was sitting beside Brian at the pub. We woke up 6 o'clock in the morning to go down there, and I guess I can't really complain about that to you since you were doing a watch along at 3 a.m. But I had to wake up a teenager and get his ass ready. A 16-year-old, try to wake that up. It's like raising the dead. It was painful. So, and then on top of that, the result, and then the long drive home after, it was just. And then yesterday, oh my God, I was so happy.
You woke up at 6 a.m. to watch that shower of shit.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. So it ruins our whole. The rest of the
He was up at like 3. He didn't sleep for like. How many hours did you not sleep?
Jesus.
Yeah. But to be fair, Eugene doesn't sleep.
Oh no, I do. I have to sleep. I can't drive.
I was gonna say, if you're not on the stream, you're in the car, right?
Yeah.
But okay, let's get to my brother. My brother Brian. Brian looks like he's gonna explode.
Yeah, I know. We're just waiting.
Derby.
No. I mean, there's one person in here that can vouch that I didn't explode yesterday, and that was Haz.
Yeah.
I'll just say the 6 points that I said at the beginning. I'm not going to talk about the North London derby because it's just pointless and beyond me. And just once again, we played the occasion, not the game, and we fucked up, and we always do. And if I start talking about the North London derby, I will go fucking nuclear. So 3-4-3, we cannot play it without Dejan Kulusevski. He is the most important person. He is the most important person in the whole team if we're to play a 3, because we cannot play without him. Yves Bissouma, I'm more and more convinced this is a club signing, not a Conte signing, because he's getting the exact same treatment as Jed Spence. He may have started the West Ham game, but it does not matter. The 3-5-2 is there to play. So there's 2. The third one is 0 attempts on target. And as I said on We Are Tottenham TV, but as again will vouch, the YouTube comments afterwards, they don't listen to what I say. They just think they've heard me and just say shit. What I said is, if this had been under Nuno and we had 0 shots on target, everyone would be going absolutely mad.
Yep.
But because it's Antonio Conte, you can't say anything. You might get scared. The guy can be questioned. I am Conte in all day long. Day long. I never want to go anywhere. But that does not mean he cannot be questioned with his stubbornness. He cannot be questioned regarding that. Another point. The right-hand side of our pitch, at the end of that game, this is a Champions League team. The right-hand side of our pitch was Emerson Royale and Brian Hill. I repeat, Emerson Royale and Brian Hill, because of a wonderful, wonderful summer of great business and great depth and great options and great quality. And the final one, which had his personal favourite.
Sorry, I was just picking up a little sarcasm there.
Yeah, and this one's the best one and my personal favourite. When we had Gareth Bale, and he came very slight, very skinny, what did he do? He got in the gym, bulked up, and became the fucking unit that he is. The only thing Brian Hill has grown in 18 months is a goddamn moustache.
Took him 18 months, though, to be fair.
Listen, I understand, and we have to come to terms with, we are not going to play good football. Oh, no, that's the other one. You know, the Japanese torture thing, death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm being tortured by death of 1,000 minutes. So that's where we're going. Listen, we've got to understand that the football is going to be lackluster, and I will take lackluster if we win a trophy. The filth did it with Jules Graham, as Arthur will know. They spent years going boring Arsenal, and just 1-0 to the Arsenal and getting the job done. It was not pretty, but you know what they did in May? They got to see armpit hair. They got to see this. I don't care what style of football we play if it gets that trophy. We have to understand that. But he's got to change this. The 3 does not work without Kulusevski.
No.
Richarlison's first touch is so heavy and gets him into so many problems. I love him as a player. You've got to start 3 in midfield, leave a striker on the bench. You saw Harry Kane picked his knock with the knee. If that he had to go off. If you're playing 2, then you've got Richarlison or a Son to come on. You don't. It's just, we've got to get to terms with this is the style of football. We've got to get to terms that this is going to be it. And as every Spurs fan says, oh, don't worry, we'll spend in January. Oh no, January is very, very hard to get players, and it was the World Cup, so the players are more expensive. And then it'll be the summer. Oh, but we've got 6 weeks. This is the summer. This is the summer.
Oh, this is the summer coming?
No, this
Yes.
one,
Yes.
I can guarantee.
Finally.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The 23rd summer window is the chance. That's
Lucky
the one that's
23.
going to do it. Set the world alight. Everyone rub your hands and all have faith and confidence. And I was going to say his name, but I know Cody is in the comments and I'll get clipped. I have my wares about there, so I'll stop there.
Yep. But just to let Manny and Kesha
Brian,
know, right?
do you actually believe half the shit you're chatting?
What?
First of all, watch your mouth. Second of all, nothing I've just chatted is shit. And if you think I'm talking about Daniel Levy spending, Niven, it's very, 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 very sarcastic. You know me well enough now that I don't trust Daniel Levy to tell me the bloody time, let alone invest in the bloody transfer market.
I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you, Brian.
But now, to be fair, I'm going to play devil.
Well, hold on.
I'm going to play devil's advocate
Let me
quickly.
explain to Manny and Kesha first, right? Manny and Kesha, Mr. Brian Daigle here is the biggest Levy outer that you'll ever find in the world. And he's in Canada. Right? So we are in the same, more or less in the same ship. We can't stand it, what's been happening. But of course, let's get back. Since I'm not sure whether Manny or Keshav or Nippon, did you watch the Champions League game that Spurs played yesterday?
Hopefully you didn't, because it was shit.
So good. So then there will be not much comment.
Don't waste 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
Don't
go watch it. Yeah. It wasn't worth it. Right?
But
so,
honestly,
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I don't think it was that bad a performance. We just couldn't finish.
Brian,
no.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
No, you didn't, mate. You didn't. That was, mate. You've got to remember, I am very, very sarcastic. Nippon, just trust me. If you'd upset me or annoyed me, trust me, you would know about it. You would know about it.
I can vouch for that.
Don't worry about that, brother. Don't worry about that.
Sorry, don't you guys think that the fact Brian Gill is still at Tottenham is like indictment of how shit our window was?
But guys, you know,
it's unbelievable. He's still
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say something?
Sure, go ahead, Kesha.
You guys played Frankfurt, right? Is it Frankfurt?
Yeah.
Well, West Ham played them last season, and gosh, they are one of the, I don't want to go and say it, but they're one of the toughest teams to face. And to be honest, one of the most irritating teams to face, because we played them and we got like, we couldn't find a way to beat them. It was just that tough, and that sort of ruined our hopes in the Europa League. But they got sort of like physical players. They're a very physical team.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a difficult team to play. I remember we faced them in the second leg, and gosh, those fans are so. They're so irritating.
Loud.
Yeah. The atmosphere is intense.
That stadium.
You must remember, Frankfurt sold, I think, 2 of their main players. Kostic, yeah.
Yes.
They sold 2 of the main players. Yeah. They sold 2 of the main players, right? And they still, of course, I understand Spurs going to Germany, and usually our away record ain't good and all that. But yesterday, the performance that we put up, I still don't understand why did our Spurs fan base, like what Bobby's saying, right? He sees it was an improvement. Of course, it looks like an improvement from the stupid Arsenal game, but
yes. Judy, can I just add to this? And I'll ask any Spurs fan.
Yeah,
and I tweeted this when it got to the 65th, 67th minute, and I did a tweet saying, if we'd got to the 67th minute and you were watching the game, and I said, Son, Kane, Richarlison are on the pitch, we've had 9 attempts on goal, how many would you expect to be on target? I guarantee you, not a single Spurs fan or even a football fan would have said 0. And that's the difference. You don't get points for creating chances.
Yeah.
It's not, you created more than 9 chances, you get a half point.
Yeah.
The thing is, if that's Manchester City, within 9 attempts, there's a goal. If that's Liverpool, within 9 attempts, that's a goal. With Chelsea, that's 9 attempts, that's a goal. Any one of the big guns, even United, 9 attempts, it's a goal, or at least on target and making the keeper work. It's all well and good.
Liverpool
Listen,
are finished though, Brian.
when you say it was a better performance, do we get to celebrate that and go back in our history? And when, please God, we all have kids, or the people that we have kids that are growing up, and go, do you remember that day on October the 4th when we had those glorious chances, but we couldn't take? No, you don't. When I please God have kids, I'll be able to tell the day when Gareth Bale destroyed Maicon, when Mora did what he did in Amsterdam. You don't go, oh, do you know what? We had 9 chances. Jolly damn good efforts. And it's just what a flabbergast we didn't get to take it. That we were in Premiership, we're in the Elite League football. We're taking chances, no matter how many you get. You're at the level now.
Yeah.
If those chances go to other teams, bang, they're gone. You're out the cup.
Yeah.
And then we hear we hear the good line that we hear every away game. Do you know what? We've got to take something from this, and we've got to learn from it. Do you know what it is? Honestly,
yes.
We are a 37-year-old. These players are like in their 30s. They're still at secondary school because they can't pass their GCSEs because they're not learning.
That's a brilliant analogy.
Is that? Have you seen that Adam Sandler movie, Billy Madison?
Yeah.
That's basically what we are. Well, we've got to go. Mura, Pacosta Ferreira, Dinamo Zagreb. Well, it's embarrassing. What we got to do, we got to hold our hands up and we got to learn from this and take stuff from this so we don't let it happen again. 2 years undefeated, 2 years without a win in Europe away. Oh, we're learning. We're learning real quick.
I was going to say, if we actually strengthen the transfer market, I would drop all the 3 of them.
Stop it with that transfer market talk. It's so out of order. I'm not happy, mate. Slap of the wrist, mate. All this transfer talk nonsense. It was a wonderful summer. Everything we got.
Yeah. But of course, let's get back to Keshaf, Mani, and Nippon. I guess any thoughts? I mean, West Ham playing Conference League on Thursday. Arsenal playing Conference League on Thursday. Nippon, you guys, who are you guys playing tonight?
They got Milan at home because Iggy's
going.
Oh, I know because Iggy's going.
Nippon, you got Milan at home today, right?
Olivier Giroud returning to his.
We are playing AC Milan, and I'm going.
You going?
Yeah, Milan at home. I'm actually going to the game.
Oh, that's good.
I'm actually going to the game.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe you might be able to meet up with Iggy. I'm not sure whether you know him or not.
He's going.
I'm going to the game. Yeah.
Yeah, Iggy's going to the game too, but he'll be on the Milan side.
Yeah,
he'll be on the opposite side of the thing, right?
First
but
game.
Guys, I'll go around the panel, right? To give your last thoughts before we end the show because it's reaching the 2-hour mark.
Look, I don't expect us to get anything.
You don't expect to win?
Look, I don't expect us to get anything from that game. No.
Serious?
Do you see how good Milan are?
Come on!
You see how good
you've got your new striker.
I'm being real.
Obama who? Obama
what?
Obama
who?
Obama Yang. He scored against Palace. He'll start scoring. I promise you.
Look.
All right. We'll get some
Palace. Look, I'll give you two.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 predictions. I always give 2, head and heart. My head says a 1-0 win for Milan. My heart says a 2-1 win for Chelsea.
All right.
Neither of my predictions say a draw.
Okay. And for Mani, your Bodo Glimt game, right? You're playing away?
Yep. We have that coming up, and Bodo Glimt are not going to be easy. I think they gave AS Roma a few problems en route to their Conference League win last season, and of course they knocked out Celtic. And none of
I'm always
going
to love Bodo for that.
You would. But none of the games we have in our group are going to be easy, and the PSV game will obviously be key. That is going to determine, those 2 games will probably determine which out of our 2 teams will top the group. And of course, this time around, even if we qualify in second place, there's no guarantee we'll go further. It's also going to be a test of our bench strength because there is no way that Arteta can afford to play the same 11 that played against Tottenham. Let me tell you. He will rest Ramsdale and give Matt Turner a go. I would like to see him give Tomiyasu and Tierney a start. Marquinhos should definitely play. Maybe Samuel Lokonga and Vieira should get some more minutes. Nketiah, what?
Simba.
Oh, there's a cat in the street.
There's not the same cat. It's Simba. It's the cat.
That's Simba.
It's the cat.
It's the cat.
Yeah.
It's the
Go
cat.
ahead,
Simba
man.
the super spur.
Yeah.
Look, he's doing his best Brian Hill impression on being on the floor.
Hey Simba! Hey Simba! What do you think of Woolwich?
Wow, shit!
Yeah, you see him squinting his eyes. You know he doesn't like the Woolwich.
He doesn't even like being the name brought up. No.
Sorry, man.
Bobby,
Go
when
ahead.
did you get into your car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see
you
that.
and he's going to get his kid.
Yeah.
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 You're doing the me today, are you, Bobby?
I looked
I'm
at
sorry?
Simba. I looked back.
You're doing the me today, are you?
I'm doing the Eugen.
Yeah.
I figured it's only appropriate if I'm on Eugen's channel, we'll hop in the car and drive around and stream.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I just thought I'm just trying to represent Eugen. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're always in your car too. Yeah.
Yeah. And sorry, Manny, you were going ahead. You're going on about the Europa League games.
Yeah. So, like I said, we have to put out a much changed 11. This will be a test of our bench strength. I'm going for a 3-1 win. Anything less than that would be unsatisfactory, let me tell you right now. And I will be watching the Chelsea game because that obviously will be a very interesting clash with different personalities. Giroud coming back to Chelsea, Aubameyang, of course.
Right,
I don't know if he will start, and he should. I mean, this will be a test for Graham Potter. If he can't get a result against his team, then Chelsea's Champions League chances will take a bit of a blow.
All right. Okay. But before you guys continue, I have to say there's a Hindu festival going on, right? Just happy celebrations for Mani, and I'm not sure. Keshav, do you celebrate it?
Hey.
Oh yeah, it's the Dussehra festival. I think it's a 10-day festival.
Yeah, Dussehra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, I don't really go all out and celebrate it, but I do observe it, and I mean, obviously, like, I will be respectful, and so thank you for your wishes, sir. I appreciate that.
I have to say, Eugene, I'm hurt now because you haven't said Yom Kippur.
Oh, Yom Kippur.
So the holiest day in our festival.
You're saving that to the end.
Yeah, we're saving that to the end. Yeah, we're going to save that to the end. Right,
and if I'm correct, Tottenham does have a majority Jewish fan base, doesn't it?
Correct.
Well, it depends what you believe on Twitter, though.
At the moment, I don't think so. If you count the international fan base...
Eugene!
Yeah.
Eugene, I swear you're a Muslim.
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. Yeah. I am a Muslim.
Feel free not to answer. Are you a Sunni or a Shia?
None.
There are more denominations than those two, Nipper.
Yeah, there are more denominations.
There's more than them too.
Sorry, I asked.
In Malaysia, it's the dominant practice is Sunni. But to tell the truth, I don't care. I'm just Muslim. I don't want to be categorized into what.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's a member of the Yid Army. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well said, that man.
Yeah. But of course,
football for me. Football has no religion. We're all fans at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we're all fans, right? And we love our clubs, right? And to tell the truth, I never would like to propagate the hate between fans too. So that's the most important, that fans are fans. Yeah. And my
we can hate the clubs.
Yeah, we
can hate the clubs.
Yep. But not
actually, Nippon, it's because it's tribal.
Yeah.
Each club is a tribe.
No, I don't. Tribalism has ruined clubs. I'm not gonna lie.
That boxing glove at the top of his
That's what it is.
No, his balls are hanging over there.
After I got married, my wife was kind enough to take them off and return them to me, so I just keep them on display.
Yeah.
When you punch TV, it's fine.
Yeah. But of course, round the panel, last thoughts before the show ends. I'll go with Keshav first. Keshav, any last thoughts? The European game. Who are you guys playing?
We're playing Anderlecht.
Oh, that's me. And how far away is Bodo Glimt?
It's in Norway, if I'm not wrong. I'm not too
that's
sure
not too far.
exactly
That's not too far.
if it's in Oslo. Let me just take a look right now.
No, that's not. You don't travel too far. No, you're not like getting some 3,000 round trip
Hi,
flight
Josh.
back.
Hi, Ashton. How are you, boys?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Have a good
All
day,
right,
boys. Bye, Josh.
Up the Bodo.
Last thoughts?
Hello, Father. Hi,
Your
buddy.
last
Wanna
thoughts
say hi
first?
quick? Hello.
What
Right.
up, Big K?
All right. Big K.
Uncle Brian's there.
Kick off your last thoughts before we do end the show.
His house. How are you?
Are you there, Kishaf?
Oh,
okay, Kishaf, you're there. All right.
He's
Go ahead,
giving
Kishaf.
me shit for my Leicester jersey.
Oh dear, oh dear. Leicester jersey.
They had he was supposed to have a Leicester fan, and there's no Leicester fan available, so I put dust off this.
Bobby K, you deserve it.
yeah. You know what? I did set myself up, didn't I, Arthur? I set myself up for that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Being my kid, I'm assuming I should expect to get some shit.
Oh, come on! At least it's not.
A Chelsea kid?
At least it's not an Arsenal jersey.
He's a Chelsea fan.
It's not the village.
Yeah. All right, Kishaf, you'll be playing Anderlecht away, at home.
Hey.
Away.
I guess you're still
away.
salty about that Man United defeat.
So, any thoughts on the game?
It's not going to be easy because I know Anderlecht are good side. I think according to their Belgian league, they've not been doing particularly well. I think they're 10th place, and it seems like the manager may be sacked because of their form. But of course, you have to take every game seriously, and I respect every European club. Anderlecht won't be an easy game, but I expect the Western players to perform. I would expect probably Paqueta to play and maybe give Antonio a start. Probably play. I think Cornet is injured, so we won't be able to play him. And probably give Fornals a go and probably play Flynn Downs and now
yeah. And then that's Nippon. You met Nippon. Remember the Chelsea fan?
probably give Areola a chance also.
And then you remember
I expect us to win the game.
fan? Yeah. I just can't see.
Yeah, go ahead, Kishaf.
I expect us to win the game, and we just have to build on this momentum. We've got Fulham after Anderlecht, so that is really not going to be an easy game. Tough one, but we have to build some consistency, and I hope we do that. And I always give respect to every European club, and Anderlecht is, and again, not going to be an easy one. I think we played them, I think 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I think, in the Inter-Toto Cup. I remember we played them. Yeah, we used to call it Inter-Toto Cup, so yeah.
All right. And of course, Mani said his last thoughts. And Nippon, any last thoughts? Chelsea game? No? Can you hear me, Nippon?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Any last thoughts on the Chelsea game? The following week, any games you want to say anything? Are you doing any shows lately, Nippon?
I only do shows after 11 p.m. on my days, on the days I don't have off, and I try and do my podcast on my days off.
Okay.
I'm going live at 6 p.m. outside the bridge.
Oh.
For an AC Milan preview. I'll also match day vlog. I might do a match day vlog too.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. Now for the Spurs fans, Has last thoughts?
Well, that was a really bad game again. I have to admit, guys, I've gone on record to say this, and like I said this on Marlon's channel last night. I'm not very confident going into Brighton at all, to be honest with you. Number one, because Conte is very stubborn, so I don't think we're going to change from a 3-4-3. Number two, we just don't have the personnel to play this way. Like, you know, our right side, as Brian said, is just an absolute shambles. So, yeah, I'm not confident going in on the right.
So negative. It's so negative.
Yeah, Mr. Negative.
And Arthur?
Oh, yes.
You'll be lucky if you get away with a draw.
Okay.
We just the
All
front
right.
three for me, Eugene, is so disjointed. It's just
Yeah.
I know. At the moment, it looks very
Richarlison's in his weakest position. Son and Kane, I don't know what is. Honestly, I don't know what is up. They just can't hit the target.
Yeah.
They're playing.
And
rubbish.
Bobby, yeah, and Arthur, any last thoughts?
On.
Yeah.
On the game.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Arthur.
Yeah, I just think we'll be lucky if we get away with a draw, and I'm not holding my hopes very high for it. Unless Conte gives them an injection of some sort and wakes them up. Ridiculous, you know. We shouldn't be in this state.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And
lack of spending.
Yeah. And Bobby K.
Oh, we're gonna win, man. Simple as that. Emerson's not playing, so we don't have to worry about playing the game a man down, right?
Who's going to play on the right?
Emerson's not playing, so just for that reason, I have a little bit more hope. So
that's good.
I'm praying Spence gets a crack because there's no way he can be shittier than what we've seen from Emerson. No way. It's impossible. I'm a better right back than Emerson, and I can't run.
We've got a cardboard cutter just in case.
I think, don't you think people are being like really saying, pinning all their hopes on Spence, and they've barely seen him play?
I'd rather.
It could be the same situation with Sessegnon. When Sessegnon came in, he wasn't very good at all. The same thing could happen. And then from what I've heard of Doherty's not even that fit to play. And so who have we got?
Well, look at the comments Conte made about Doherty. Holy crap.
I know. So who are we going to play on the right?
That shocks me that he's coming up with those comments though, because that's degrading, man.
Yeah, he was like, it's just not good.
Yeah, basically, I'm basically saying that if I play him, I know we're going to lose. What the hell is that? Like, that's the kind of shit I said in the summer because we had a kid that was that crap on our team, but we knew we were going to lose when he was on the field. So he did. No, I'm talking about Mason.
Oh, Mason, yeah.
Oh shoot, can I say the name on here? Yeah, it's like no, like his mom's watching. If you're out there, you know who you are. Please don't sign up to be on my team again. But hey, you're a good kid otherwise.
Emerson, sounds like Emerson.
Oh dear.
No, I don't want Emerson either.
You don't take him from us, please.
No, this is a 12-year-olds league. Emerson won't be able to keep up.
Oh dear.
And what I'm trying to say is that
you know me, Eugene, always the optimist, buddy, and my delusion. That's all I can do is keep to my delusions and have hopes. It's brightened away, man. They've been doing it, and they've been looking good doing it. Even after losing players like Trossard, man, holy crap!
And their manager,
Graham
Potter.
Yeah, no, Graham Potter's gone.
Yeah, and losing.
Oh, and yeah, losing the manager, losing Basuma. There's still. What do you think's going to happen? How do you think? Go on, quickly tell Eugene what's the score going to be.
Last time I said something, we lost.
Okay, then don't ever talk again. Go ahead.
No, wait, hold on. Last time I didn't say anything, Eric Dyer scored. So I'm not going to.
Last time you didn't say anything, Eric Dyer scored. So bet on Dyer.
Dex, what the hell are you banging on about?
Yeah.
What the hell are you banging on about?
What?
Yeah. No, that's a bad comment there.
That's stupid. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
We're talking about something completely different.
What?
God.
I don't even want to say it.
I can't. If I speak right now in the mood I'm in, Spurs waiting.
Leave. Hey, when you see a comment like that, you know that's what it wants. It's a response. Ignore
I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it.
Don't give it.
I'm not going to give it. Is it my turn for my final thoughts?
Yeah.
And by the way, Dex, I call myself a Yid, and I'm not Jewish, so.
Same.
My final thoughts are every single day that ends with Y is Levy out day. And as always, Levy out.
Yeah. And guys, thanks to all the guys in the chats, Google Ma, Eva Man, right? Who else do we have? Mike Green, Cody Mack, long time no see, Cody, right? And who else do we have?
Love
right? Cody, haven't seen Cody. Yeah, but Cody's on Twitter though, right? He still puts in one.
He's the king of Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Chelsea
And Stuart,
OG.
big up Stuart. Stuart, thanks for being on. Thanks for your support.
I'm back in one sec.
Yeah, and of course Hasper is here, right? Who else do we have? Chelsea OG, right? Of course Hanno, he was earlier on the show. James Joris, right? Lisa from Mexico. Thanks for the support, Lisa. Right, thanks for joining us in the show. Right, and Arthur B, and of course I think Wayne Bonner. Yes, Wayne Bonner too. Wayne Bonner's
Big up Lisa.
Chris at the beginning as well.
Yeah, of course Lisa, James Joris. Who else do we have? Talk and Ball. Yeah, Colin, big up to Colin. Yeah, big up Chris Agamba. Yes, big up to Chris Agamba. Right.
Big up Chris.
Who else do we have? Have we gone through? Lisa, Google Ma.
Nick at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, Nick. Yeah, we forgot about Barry. Nick. Yeah, Ranjit. Big up to him too. Had a good. Yeah, he was on the watch along yesterday.
Yeah.
And we've
Nick
come
Barry still Phil Grant. They are going to put on a show for you.
Yeah.
Is that the whole song they made up? Remember Stambouli?
No, that's what I made up. The Hot Shot Tottenham thing.
Ian,
All in Nick's name.
were you on We Are Tottenham TV?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nippon. Before we
Tottenham
end.
TV for the last watch along.
Nick was. I wasn't. I'm still here
I
in
was
Toronto.
asking Brian a question.
Yeah, I'm still in Toronto. I go on the fan shows after and the pump ups before. For the watch alongs, I'll be back in the studio maybe sooner than everyone thinks, but definitely in January.
All right. But guys,
better be there in January. We're all going to be there.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the show, right? I'll keep you. We all meet back in the back room. Thanks to everybody in the chats, right? Have a good night, good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care, everyone.
Peace.
Come on, Lester.
Come on, you
Media.
Spurs.